welcome back to Creekside Homestead, Alaska, and today we are in the she shed because it is time to start our tomatoes for the 2025 growing season. We are again, if this is your first time here, we are in zone 3B in Alaska, and so where we are at, I've got to get my tomatoes started ASAP. Today is the 19th of March, and so these will go out probably the end of the first week of June if weather holds. Right now it is unusually warm in Alaska. We did just get about 8 inches of snow in the last 2 days, but it is quickly melting, which is highly unusual for this time of the year. So we're going to hope that this weather trend stays, and we may be able to get some stuff in the ground a little earlier. Not the tomatoes. The tomatoes will go out in my greenhouse probably the end of the first week of June, simply because I don't have a heated greenhouse. So I cannot put those out until temperatures stay right around 55 degrees. And I don't want it any colder than that. But the greenhouse is quickly heating up, so hopefully by June it'll be ready to go. Anyways, I just wanted to show you guys how I do my tomatoes. I do them, I don't know if I do them a little bit different, but this is the way I do them. And I'm also going to go over the varieties that I'll be doing and why. And then we're also going to be starting marigolds. And I'll give you an update on the onions and the peppers as well. They're doing great. They're doing so great that the peppers are ready to be up potted. So I'll be doing that today as well. So a busy day in the she shed. Anyways, let's get started. So tomatoes. Let's just go over the varieties real quick. I'm going to be doing a lot of my cherry tomatoes. And I've got my favorite, which is the black cherry tomato. These are so good. I grow them every year. I've been growing them. I think this will be my 4th year now. And they never fail. They do fantastic. And then I also just do the large red cherries, your traditional little globe, little cherry tomatoes that you find in the stores. I'll be doing those. And then I've got 2 varieties. I always do new things every year because I'm still trying to figure out what my favorites are. So I've got a ton of tomatoes. But I'm going to be doing what's called Sunrise Bumblebee. New to me, super excited. It looks like they get like a yellow orangish. So I'll be trying those out. And then Black Strawberry. So pretty excited to try those. So those are our cherry varieties. And then the slicer, and I've got Red Robin. Those don't go there. Okay. And then I'm doing 2 slicer varieties this year. Now, normally I don't do just slicers because my main focus is canning. So I've got a lot of dual purpose ones that I can use for slicing or for canning. But this year I wanted to try just slicers because we love to have them in the summertime. So I'm hoping these do good. And these are going to be Ace 55 tomato and Wood's Famous Brimmer. I've been seeing these for probably the last 2 to 3 years, and I've just never bought them. So I'm super anxious to try those this year. And then I have my purple varieties, and these are dual purpose. Cherokee Purple, I grow them every year. They do great. They're great tasting sliced, but they are also fantastic in sauce. So if you want a really deep flavored sauce, I usually grow all these and just mix them all together. And last year, I can't remember how many pounds that we were able to actually harvest off of all the tomatoes, but I do have pictures from last year, and so I'll post those for you guys to see in an unheated greenhouse just how well we did. I still have tomatoes, canned tomatoes that we're still using, so I'm hoping to double my harvest this year so that I can I would like to have enough to grow for an entire year. So we'll see. Anyways, so we've got our Cherokee Purple, and then my other one is a True Black Brandywine. I have not grown these before, so we'll see how these do. And then I've got my Ox Hearts. And I grew both of these last year. This will be my 3rd year growing these. I will grow these every single year. These, one's called Bread and Salt, and the other one is Hungarian Heart. These suckers get huge, and I'm talking we weighed, I think it was the Bread and Salt, and we weighed one last year, and not kidding, it was 1.8 pounds. These things are huge. But you can use these as slicers or sauce. I used them only for sauce last year. But they're really good. They're delicious. And then the last of my dual purpose, I'll just go through these real quick. Most of these, the only ones that are not new to me that I'm growing again are Rutgers. It's just a staple. I grow them every year. But then we've also got Comstock. They're actually called Comstock Sauce and Slice. Abe Lincoln's. Again, these are supposed to be pretty great growers. And they're supposed to get really big. And they have great, fantastic reviews. So I'm going to give those a try. And then I've got Mountain Princess and Manitoba tomatoes. So we'll see how all those do for the first time. And then last, I've got my paste tomatoes, which are mostly Roma style tomatoes. And these are San Marzanos. I'm sure everybody's heard of those. So we're going to do those this year. I did them last year. They didn't do great, so I'm hoping they do better this year. And then I've got a San Marzano short vine. I didn't do these last year either, so we'll see how those do. And then I've got these two I did, striped Romas. They're one of our favorites because they're so pretty. They actually have these like red and yellow stripes down them. They're really pretty and they're really good. And then Korean Long. These guys did so good last year, so hoping they do just as good this year. That's it. That's the varieties I'm going to be doing. And then real quick, I mean, it's not rocket science how you start seeds, but I just do tomatoes different than I do everything else. So figured you guys might want to know. So I do my tomatoes in red solo cups. And I've been doing this. This will be my 3rd year. Last year was by far the best harvest I've had. And what I do is I just fill up my red solo cup with about 1/3 of the way. And I have mixed in here seed starter and soil. And it's already got the nutrients in it. So I just fill my solo cup up to about 1/3 of the way. I put my seed in there, cover it. You only need it to go down about 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. And then as it germinates and grows, I will continue to cover the tomatoes. So I'll let it get its second set of true leaves, and then I'll fill it up to that point. Because what happens is when tomatoes grow, they get all those little hairs on them. And so those could all be roots. So I let that grow and I continue to feed that with soil as it grows. And then once it gets to the top, I just let it do its thing. I just make sure this is full. And then usually by that time, I may have to up pot it one more time before I get it out in the greenhouse, but that'll be it. So it's saving me on space, and it's giving the roots a lot of room. And so then when it's time to go out in the greenhouse, hopefully at the beginning of June, they'll be ready to go and they will look fantastic. And they won't be too big. But so that's what I do. I'll just show you guys one real quick. We'll do the black cherry. And I'm going to put 2 seeds in each one. And then once they germinate and I determine which one is the strongest of the 2, I will thin them and only have one plant growing in here at a time. So that's really all there is to it for that. Put a little layer in there. And then once I get these all in and labeled, I'll give them a good water. And then they will go on a warming mat under lights. And they'll be in here under lights. And then that's it. They should take, 7 to 14 days, I think, to germinate. Yeah. And then we'll start getting our tomatoes going. But I'll just give you a quick little update on our... So these are the peppers. These are the peppers that we're starting. I think we started these in the middle of February. And these guys are just doing fantastic. So we've got to get these up potted today. And I will be one per container is what I'm going to be doing. And then down here we've got asparagus. I've got some Brussels sprouts, lots of stuff in here. Brussels sprouts, strawberries, rosemary, eggplant, thyme. Oh, that's lemon balm. And then down here are onions. And they are doing fantastic. They're right on schedule for me. These are all done from seed that you saw in that video when we did the peppers. So yeah, that's where we're at. And then if you're ever so interested, this is my plan for this year. So we'll see how this goes. There's a lot happening in the she shed. So we got all the tomatoes under some warming mats. And I know I said earlier that they needed to be under lights as well. Not true. They just need to go under warming mats until they germinate, and then I'll turn the lights on. So those are all good to go. Now I've moved on to peppers, and as you can see, I've already got a tray up potted. And I'm just really, what I'm doing is looking at the ones that are starting to get leggy, and probably this one has probably got some roots. Probably not root bound yet, but getting close. So I want to get the rest of these done today. See, as you can see, I'm about halfway there. Now these ones are not ready to up pot, so I'm just going to let them keep growing in these for probably another couple weeks, and then we'll get those up potted as well. And these are smaller, bushier varieties. Like these are daddle peppers, and this is the Pequeño red yellow chili pepper. So those are going to be shorter growth ones anyways. But the rest of them, I'm just going to keep going along. And all I'm doing is filling this red solo cup. And I did not mention this earlier when I was showing you guys the tomatoes. But on these red solo cups, I put like 4 holes in the bottom of each red solo cup. And that just gives drainage. And then I just fill it up. Put about almost to the top. Because we're going to be putting this pepper in here. So anyways, just fill her up. Then I poke a hole in there, and I'll just show you guys this gadget that I got. I believe it was last year. And I'll put a link. Sean actually got this for me. I'm not sure where he got it, but I'll find out, and then I'll stick a link in there. This is absolutely wonderful. I love this tool. And all it is, it's like it grabs it without you having to pull the plant out by grabbing on to any part of the plant. And all you do is you stick this down in there, and it just brings the plant out for you. Breaks up the roots a little bit, but as you can see, there's still plenty of roots. I don't know if you can see that, but there's still plenty of roots for it to get in here in the dirt. And then you just push it down in there, and you're not disturbing any part of the plant. You're not touching it, you're not pulling on it. And I think that it has worked really well. So this is a definite keeper. But yeah, so that's all I'm doing is I'm going to finish up potting these. I'm not sure I'm going to get to the marigolds today. I'm going to try. But I'll show you in the end. everything that we've either planted or up potted today. And I do have sweet peppers done. I did those the last time as well. I did those, can't remember the date, but and those are still inside, but I'll show you how those are doing too before the end of the video.